to persuade the oil companies to time their increases every 30 days and not weekly. Are you willing to do this?
That seems to be a good suggestion. We will have to consult with the oil companies. As you know, you price of oil in the world market, by information, keeps on increasing. So perhaps there can be a formula that can meet their needs and also meet our desire to keep the prices more reasonable. But unfortunately, at the present time, we are a net importing country, and the world prices have continued to rise. There is also the winter that seems to be not much colder this year. That is still exacerbating the demands for oil.
Sir, are you willing to support the amendments to the oil deregulation law?
I've yet to see the proposed amendments to it. But perhaps my off-stated position from way before has been the need to ensure that in the competition that is central to the oil deregulation law really does happen. As you know, when I was still, I think it was in my first term that I first mentioned that I really was wondering how come they all increase their prices at the same level, to the same level, and roughly at the same time. And there should have been different efficiencies that would have produced different price factors. So that is, I guess, an aspect that I want to really study better.
88mm mortar shell. So,
sorry, Christine, I can't hear you. So the police have determined that
the explosive used was an 88mm mortar shell. So does this strengthen the terrorist angle that you said earlier?
The intelligence cluster is meeting actually this afternoon in response, actually this noon if I'm not mistaken, or perhaps they're meeting already. And they have been this whole day reassessing all of the intel that has come through the various desks. We are trying to correlate all of this data again, revisit all of them to find out if there were any indications of any groups that were planning this. At this present time, we will not point to any particular group as being behind this. We are not even sure that the label terrorist is the most appropriate. There are certain sectors that are saying it might be an extortionist group also. So until we have the data and solid evidence, I think we and nobody can make any pronouncements.
Pero we didn't have any prior intel, sir, about this kind of.
The closest intel there was sometime in the third quarter, either the fourth quarter, I think, of last year, where there were supposed to be a desire by certain terrorist elements to undertake these activities, but the assessment was they didn't have the necessary resources to carry it out, to include the support base that will help them carry out their plans. So that is being reassessed now.
Sir, earlier po sabi po ng AFP, they are also seriously looking at the possibility na the stabilization plot din po to. Is the palace open to this, and how confident are you, sir?
This is the stabilization plot. Again, the closest of the intel report says a potential terrorist desire to undertake such activities. So at the present time, you let us allow our agencies, our security agencies in particular, in the intelligence group community, to complete their work so that we can have concrete leads as to how to best proceed in addressing the problem. But in the interim, I understand the PNP is already coming up with the guidelines as to how to harden potential areas that might have an increased threat level.
Hi, sir. Sir, looking back po ba, may basis po ba yung mga foreign governments before sa pag-issue nila ng travel advisory noon?
Yung noon ang sinasabi, kung naalala mo, di ba? Ang binabanggit nila, target ay mall. Yung bus at yung mall, malaki yung difference na pagiging softer. Yung bus kasi, according to the MMDA, we have something like 7,000 buses flying Metro Manila already. So the physical act of guarding all 7,000 while they're traveling, yung facilities medyo mas madali. Pero pag kumikilos na po to 7,000, yung mall fixed, yung mall designated lahat ng entrances, may mga security guards guarding ito, inadequate trained, meron yung bomb sniffing dogs available. But in the buses, di ba, layo ng pagiging softer. This was not identified in the previous reports.
Sir, you mentioned yesterday in your speech, Japanese corporation having parang pledge, 1 billion pledge. Can you share to us the nature of the pledge, investment pledge, and in what currency, dollar or peso? What group was it?
It's over $1 billion. I have yet to meet this group. I think they're asking for an appointment next week. And that will be the time when they will tell me specifically what their plans are. So I asked our Secretary of Trade and Industry to get in touch with this particular group and to come up with, to brief me on the details of their planned investment. Okay. But I can't reveal it at this time because that meeting is about to happen.
Sir, follow up lang dun sa sinabi niyo na yung previous report na natanggap niyo is ang original target was the shopping malls.
The basis for the travel advisory was a raw report that they were quoting an imminent attack on a mall. No? And if I remember correctly, when they were passing, there wasn't that high a confidence level as to the veracity of the information being given. But they gave it in the off chance lest they be accused of not sharing pertinent information.
Sir, wala ba kayo nakikitang intelligence breakdown with what happened yesterday na we failed to detect na...
Yung sinabi naman po na ating intelligence community, no? Meron talaga weakness of any country. Ano po yun? Kung nandito, kumikilos, known, may previous activities, somehow nagkakaroon tayo ng surveillance, alam natin yung patterns, alam natin kung paano kikilos. Pero paano na ho, pag may dumating dito na unknown, who's below the radar? Ano ba yung below the radar? He's new. He doesn't appear on any watch list by any intelligence agency in the world. No? He comes in, goes out. That is a particular vulnerability of any country. Somebody who escapes the radar of all the entire intelligence community of the world. No? So that is there is no such thing as 100% security. Okay.
So, ngayon sa hearing ng Senado yun, may proposal ng Senado na dapat prepaid or postpaid dapat i-register na. Kasi yung mga SIM cards, yun yung ginagamit sa, halimbawa yung sa phone na pinapasabog. What's your position to this, sir?
I used to have a position kasi na yung issue ng privacy, but that was in a different context. Remember, there was also a proposal na one identification number for every citizen. Tapos yung with the propensity for hacking, tapos yung obsolete wiretapping laws. No? Ang laki ng potential na may invasion of privacy, which is enshrined in Article 3 of the Constitution. No? So that needs a little bit of study. There is, I assume, how should I put it? Parang a middle ground where the needs for security and the constitutional right of privacy can both be respected and addressed. Okay na ba? Yes?
Sir, Senate President Enrile said kaya daw po nahihirapan i-resolve itong carjacking and other crimes is because DILG Secretary Jesse Robredo doesn't have control over the police. Sana daw po i-determine na daw po kung i-appoint siya in a permanent capacity. Can you get a reaction?
Sorry, but that seems to be incorrect on so many fronts, with all due respect to the Senate President. In the statistics provided us by the head of the DMG, demonstrates that there has been a significant drop. There seems to be certain leads that have been proffered us lately for other agencies, and we will be tackling that. Tapos perhaps they can attend to the suggestion of certain quarters, amongst them a senator, na the leniency of our laws with regards to carjacking is also an issue. Di ba this most sensational one has something like 40 plus cases pending against him, but he manages to keep going out on bail, and that is what has to be addressed. Now, there is a study, a long-term study that was given, I was told about over the weekend, and basically it says carjacking should be treated as a more serious crime because it is a necessary crime for those who will engage in kidnapping and robbery holdups. Yeah. So there will always be a demand for that for these other crimes. So if we make it a serious crime, yung stricter rules on bail, for instance, then that will induce a further drop, and a more significant drop than just the 36%. Okay.